Good morning, UCC school families. For those of you that are new to learning on Chromebooks at home, I wanted to provide a quick overview of different ways that students can sort of tailor some of the settings on their Chromebook as needed to make the device a little bit more accessible and easier to use for some of our students. So what you're looking at right now on your screen is what most Chromebooks look like. You probably have that Bruce Guadalupe icon in the background, but every Chromebook is going to have a series of icons on the bottom that students can utilize. The ones that will show up for them that they have access to are definitely Google Drive. This is where all their files are stored. Google Classroom, which is where students will primarily be submitting and turning in assignments and receiving instruction from teachers. On the right-hand side here where you see the time, there's a couple different settings you can adjust within this menu. So if I click it, the first thing that I can see is this icon for Wi-Fi. So that shows me whether or not I'm connected to the Wi-Fi and whether or not my connection is stable. If there's issues with having to reconnect to Wi-Fi, disconnecting from Wi-Fi, anything like that, click into this menu and you can tailor some settings here. It'll show you your different Wi-Fi networks. You'll have to know the password for your Wi-Fi network at your home. Make sure the correct network is selected. You can adjust some of the settings for Wi-Fi in your home here. The biggest one I'm going to point out that you make sure to use is to select a preferred network and to automatically connect to a network. So for most of our students, they're probably going to be learning in one home every day at the same time. And so because of that, the Chromebook, sometimes you'll see disconnect from your home network and you'll have to re-log in, re-enter that password over and over again. To prevent that from happening, just select both of these icons here to prefer this network and automatically connect to this network. You can change that setting for any of the networks within your home. I know in my house, I've got a couple different Wi-Fi networks that we bounce off of. And so I know for my personal Chromebook, I adjusted those settings for all the networks in my house. Okay, we're going to go back to this menu here on the bottom. And when I click there, you'll see that there's a couple different options here. There's the ability to turn on and off Bluetooth if your students are connecting with a Bluetooth mouse or if they're connecting to Bluetooth headphones. There's accessibility options. Now, these accessibility options provide a lot of great supports for students who might need a little bit more assistance in the learning process. So, Chromebox provides spoken feedback on everything you click on. For most of our students, that might not be necessary, but you could explore that. Select to speak. What that means is you select something and it'll speak that text. Dictation, what that means is as you are speaking, it'll actually type for you. So there'll be a little dictation icon, a microphone that pops up on the side of the screen. You can click that, and then as you speak, it'll do its best to type. One recommendation I have is speak slowly and very clearly because it needs to be able to hear all of your words and the ends of each sort of syllable and statement. High contrast mode, I know kids love to play this one. It makes the screen look kind of funny. It puts it in a different mode. So if kids accidentally select that, go into those accessibility functions and you can just change that right there. The full screen magnifier magnifies the whole screen. So if you suddenly look at student screens and it's completely exploded and way too big, it looks kind of like this. You're going to want to deactivate that full screen magnifier. I know it freaks kids out. Initially, they think they've done something really wrong, but you just need to select that. The docked magnifier, you'll see it magnifies just a portion of the screen like that. Most families, again, aren't going to need that docked magnifier. I can go into my settings and turn it off right there. Going back into those accessibility settings, automatic clicks just means that as I'm clicking, as I'm tapping things, it'll click for me a little bit more quickly. On-screen keyboard, you'll see it actually pops up a keyboard right here that's available that you can actually click to type within. So if you're having issues with any of the keys on your keyboard, that's something that you can activate as well. Okay, so I don't need that on-screen keyboard. So again, I can go right in here and I can just unselect that to turn it off. There's a couple more accessibility options here on the bottom. The large mouse cursor, kids love this one. It makes the cursor really huge. Again, probably not always necessary, but kids really like that. The highlight text caret, what that does is it highlights text as you're selecting it on the screen. Highlight mouse cursor, as you can tell, it gives a red circle right around my cursor there. highlight object with keyboard focus. So like as I'm typing, it'll highlight objects, and sticky keys you'll really never need. So if you notice that something's changed on your child's iPad and the settings look a little bit different, check out the accessibility settings because a lot of times they might have manipulated some of those. The night light, all that does is it kind of dims the screen so that if students are using it later at night, it makes it not so bright. It makes it easier to read the screen in really dim settings. You can kind of see that. That's most likely not what our students will need. So again, that's a setting that they're unlikely to utilize. There's different keyboards. A lot of times students accidentally switch their keyboard to the international keyboard. You'll see weird things happen as they're typing, like it'll type in additional characters, or they'll say, well, I'm typing this key and the wrong one's showing up. That's because that international keyboard is set. So double check right here that it says US keyboard. Students can adjust the volume and brightness of their screens from this menu. They can also do that on that top row of the keypad. So feel free to take a look there if you notice any issues with their settings. Down here on the bottom, you can check how charged the battery level on your Chromebook is. The Chromebooks have a pretty good battery life. They'll probably last for most of an instructional day for students, but you definitely are probably going to have to charge them every single night. So remember to plug them in. This will show you your Wi-Fi strength. In case you're having any issues with Wi-Fi at all, you can take a look at that. Here on the bottom, students can navigate. You can search different apps or devices that are available on their Chromebook. If you click this up button, you'll see there's calculators, there's different applications, there's text-to-speech functions, there's different things that they can navigate and take a look at on their Chromebook. And to get out of that, we just click here back on the bottom and that'll bring it right back down. As I said, if there's anything strange happening with your Chromebook, take a look at some of these accessibility settings. You can navigate through the settings menu here as well to see if there's any adjustments that needs to be made. If something really strange happens with the Chromebook and you're not sure what to do, feel free to reach out to me on Class Dojo. You can send me a message. I'm Shava Martinez. Or you can send me an email at martinez@bgcsedu.org, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. We can always start a video chat, or I can log into your student's screen virtually to kind of take a look at what's happening and see how I can help them out. But that's just some different ways that you can sort of adjust some of the settings on the Chromebook to make it work better for your students or yourselves. Hopefully you are all successfully virtually learning at home. And if you need any help, reach out to your teachers or myself. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much, Bruce Guadalupe students.